Hi guys, James from DBG here, and welcome to another video. Again, it's been probably the best part of a month before I put anything up, but hey, I have been a busy boy. I've finished a commission which you would have seen on the DBG page, but what I thought I'd do with this video is just talk about 3D printing for a while. I did in that commission an awful lot of 3D printed miniatures. I am not going to do a comparison of the ones I did because I lost an awful lot of the packing notes and what have you from the 3D printed companies, and it doesn't seem fair to compare different type companies if you're not talking about them directly, so it's not. But what I am going to talk about is this. Now these are from a company called MarDav Miniatures, and they are 320mm spigot mortars used by the Japanese army during the latter part of the Pacific campaign, most notably on Iwo Jima and Okinawa, although I believe some were used on the Philippines right at the beginning in 1941. So yeah, they're rather interesting pieces of artillery. They're basically a metal plate screwed to some reinforced planking, roughly 1.5 meters by 3 meters, I think, and they have a 320mm artillery shell, fin stabilized, with an explosive charge at the base. And you just slide it onto the tube, and then you ignite it, and off they go. They can only fire 5 or 6 shots before they become useless. But apparently they cause an awful lot of psychological damage to the US Marines they went up against, who nicknamed them, I think, moaning mortars and ghost rockets. But the way they were deployed meant that they were easily found and then overran. So their effect was negligible, shall we say. And over there in the corner there is a Japanese engineering tank. And for the life of me, even though I've just looked it up, I cannot remember its name. But I think it's based on the chassis of the Type 97 Chiha. Anyway, so all these are 3D printed miniatures. Obviously the bases and stuff, the standard Flames of War size, medium and large bases. I picked them up on eBay, laser cut, MDF. And obviously the basing is all stuff I've done. But the miniatures themselves are the best 3D printed miniatures I have ever painted, and we're gonna have a look in a minute. But yeah, I believe they're resin. The vehicles I did on the commission, I believe I think it's FDM. I'm not up to speed with 3D printing, I'm afraid, but they were the other type, where these are resin, and you can tell the difference. The detail on these guys is fantastic. Posing is a little bit and a bit sort of monopose, and they all pretty much look the same, but the quality of the miniatures is fantastic. And when they came in little blister packs, and they have little, I should have kept them, little foam little packets, and you opened up the lid and inside there was little cutouts. So for the tank you had the digging claws at the front, and were in little separate packets so you could glue them on. And same with the mortars. They had, you'll see there's a set of 3 rifles stacked up against each other, and they were in their own little individual sections, perfectly protected. Nothing broke. Nothing broke. They were clean. I didn't need to do a single piece of cleanup on any of them. They were fantastic. So, without further ado, let's have a look. I'm just going to move them to one side because we're going to start with the tank. So, here we go. So this is the engineering tank. As you can see, it's got a couple of MGs in the front, but you could kind of tell this is 3D printed. There are some printing lines at the back that you can just see, but you can hardly see anything. I mean, look at the quality of the detail, look at the tracks. I mean, some of the 3D printed stuff I was doing, had smooth tracks. They barely had any detail for the guide horns of the tracks going through the tanks. So this is an amazing little model. Yeah, so hats up to the MarDav boys. Right, so here's the mortar itself. Again, are you going to focus? There we go. So as you can see, there's lots of details on the bolts of the plate. Obviously the basing is myself. I've just built it up with cork tile, and then use some modelling filler to go over it, then my usual mix of sand and gravel, and then tufts and flock. But let's have a look at the actual. So as you can see, you can actually see the detail on the faces. They have cheekbones, they have individual figures. I mean, the last time I've seen detail like this was on the latest lot of Battlefront's plastics, the plastic infantry sets that they did 2 or 3 years ago with the American, the British, the Soviet and the German sets. As you can see, little fingers, little faces, and oh, there is the stack of rifles I was talking about. Not a single one broke, not a single one. So I am wholeheartedly impressed with MarDav Miniatures and their lovely little mortars. Okay, so yeah, let me know your thoughts on 3D printing in the comments below. I know there's a lot of, especially when it comes to people's IP, I don't think you should steal other people's IP, especially all the recasters and stuff. Who that's not good. That's not good. There are plenty of other companies that do amazing STLs. They cost pence. I think 3D printing is going to be the future of wargaming. Obviously, Games Workshop are still going to be around, and we've got Warlord Games and a few other bits and bobs. But yeah, I do think that 3D printing is going to be the way forward when it comes to doing this sort of thing. So, as usual, guys, do check out all the links in the description for all the stuff I can never remember. The Patreon, Goblin Gaming, our social media, that sort of stuff. And don't forget to like and share and do all the other YouTube stuff. It really does help us out. I know I've been a bit lax lately. I'm going to try and pick that up. So there should be some more videos coming out soon. So, as always, thank you for watching. Stay safe. I'll catch you guys next time.